Good morning from the Catskills. It's October 18th. I'm the Truth Wizard, and we're living in the insane clown show, the stupid world, the insane hell realm, gerontocracy, where our elected officials can barely stand up straight. It's day 17 of the government shutdown with no end in sight. Could be past Thanksgiving. So here are some early morning thoughts with Una trouncing about as I'm intending to go hunting myself. However, I have some lower back pain which crept up on me and shouldn't hold me back much. There's still things to do. The cabin is in good working order. I've been living off-grid for over a year now. This winter, however, I am taking a break, moving into a motel for a brief time, which I need to save up for. Witnessing in real time, despite our best efforts, no effort at all. We've backtracked on every climate policy, carbon credit pledges from Nestle, Procter and Gamble, the markets, which are up along with gold, because it's all about shareholder profits. That's what this system is built around. You know that. You're poor, and that's why the system is designed to be. Estranged, alienated, atomized consumers based on money, even relationships. It's a sad state of affairs. So circumstances which unfolded since, I would argue, the turn of the century, and notably the smartphone, have pushed me into exile. You cannot go into a bar now or a concert with people not picking up their phones and ignoring reality around them. Nope, not a good time. Stick to the basics: kayaking, hunting, fishing, gardening, canning. Just want to check in. It's like 4 days since my last update. If we were to judge the years based on global average temperature from just September to October every single year, if it was between that time frame, I'll put up a graph here of an exponential rise of global temperatures. It's going to be really warm this weekend, up to 70 degrees on Sunday. Unthinkable temperatures, record-breaking storms having people evacuated, hundreds in Alaska. The swirling down the toilet bowl evident in culture, road rage on the rise. I was watching a video this morning of a young man getting out of his car and beating another man to death in his car. Well, not to death, but he sure pummeled him.
This is video of a man jumping out of his vehicle and physically assaulting a driver in another car. It happened in the middle of the day in central Phoenix. This past Saturday, a driver was shot and killed following a confrontation between two motorists in front of a Starbucks. He says when people are on edge and stressed out about things going on in their lives, it doesn't take much for them to lose their temper and lash out.
It doesn't have to be somebody who's already on the criminal spectrum. It could be just a normal person that just is having a really bad time in their life. Stress building. Then they're in what might be a normal situation. Somebody cuts them off and they lose it. And all of a sudden become violent and outraged.
People these days are dealing with a lot of anger and anxiety stemming from their jobs, finances, relationships, and the hostility they see on social media about their community and what's going on across the country. So when they get behind the wheel, they are often on edge and prone to make bad decisions.
Right there in front of a traffic stop, not aware that there are people with cameras everywhere, literally recording everything. You can't get away with anything in the city now. Everything is being recorded. Out here in rural America, it's all just word of mouth, and I'm keenly aware that there's a target painted on my back in most places, and if the surveillance state wanted to turn itself on me for speaking anti-capitalist ideals, being a rebel and liberally thinking independently for myself using critical thought, they don't want that. They want you to be a good slave drone in the slave world. We're a society in free fall. Yeah, we can't speak civilly to each other about important topics, nor do our elected officials in this gerontocracy. Senate Mitch McConnell can not even stand up straight. He just stopped and fell in the hallway the other day, I heard. Again, all of this is just perception. But the truth is, these fuckers are too old. They're in their late 70s and 80s. I know you hear these stories about 101-year-old women still running businesses and being active. Should I tell you the best places to live? Cities are all the same in America. I've lived in the Pacific Northwest, California, Texas, a little bit in Florida. Now I'm on the other side of the people, more or less the same everywhere, just different variations of asshole. You know, some more upfront, reserved in other places. The important thing is to stay healthy, and there are healthy things to eat. Avocados, chia seeds, quinoa, wheat toast,
liver.
You can eat healthy and affordable if you really try. But the convenience of Wendy's and fast food is all too encompassing and overwhelming. Just, make it quick. Get that synthetic ingredients in and expect your mind to operate properly. The Insane Stupid Clown Show, run by dictators, wannabe dictators, and evil plutocrats. It's a corporate billionaire takeover of the government. A Vietnam veteran tried arguing with me that it's the Dems' fault. Yeah, too stupid and blinded by his own ignorance to see that the whole damn thing is bought out by money. Yeah, but he has to cling to his ideologies because it gives him a sense of identity. He needs to drop about 5 hits of acid and go be thrown out into sub-Saharan Africa, or, just survive on his own. Just really come to terms with himself. Maybe. Nah, who am I to say? I'm just a doomer living in the woods. A realist, someone who's seen the objective data along with all of you. If you haven't already, get your preps in order. Wherever you are, in the bustling cities of Vietnam or Japan, Europe, you're not immune to system-wide collapse because we live in an interconnected global system which relies on goods being supplied from places where they can make it with cheap labor. Don't fight stupid. You can't argue any of this stuff to people who can't figure out how to pay their own taxes, which are also a lie. I'm almost certain that taxes are never accurate. The billionaires hold $35 trillion worth of wealth. You think some of that can be passed down? No, let's funnel it into AI, which I'll end with because it's the hot topic lately everywhere, is AI will save us.
OpenAI says it plans to loosen restrictions on ChatGPT, including allowing the chatbot to sext with verified adults.
No, it won't. We're fucked. They're funneling billions and billions into this non-profit generating, energy-sucking data centers all over the country and, in fact, the world. I mean, in places that they can get the permits and build these things to suck up enormous amount of resources. I mean, we're talking about 10 times the amount of energy by 2030 to power these data centers to provide us with memes of chickens and fucking erotic jokes and sexting with robots while our biosphere rapidly degrades and temperatures push us past inhabitable living areas for millions of people around the world. It's exactly like a movie. No, it's like WALL-E. No, it's just a dystopian hellscape. Nightmare world, Blade Runner in the wrong direction, with all of us dying of multiple overlapping external shocks happening at once. Bread baskets dissipate and fail in the next couple years as we breach higher and higher temperatures, which means wheat and calories for people around the world, in addition to the coral reefs, which are already past 80% bleached worldwide. Bleaching events happening consistently. Why don't we revolt? Why don't we see pitchforks? Because you can go to the store and get Oreo cakesters, watch Brad Pitt, and fucking just veg out and have AI generate porn for you. I think YouTubers are catching on. Most titles I read are, this is the end of Western civilization and, enjoy the collapse. Just have a think even, just started his video just like eating popcorn. He's like, if you're watching what's going on in the United States right now, you're probably in complete shock and awe. And yeah, full-blown dictatorship, authoritarianism. No King's protests this weekend could incite violence from foreign actors and just crazies within the country. What keeps me sane is this community and my friends here, what few I have, my cat. I don't want to lose these things, which is why I don't go do some one battle after another Leonardo DiCaprio fucking rebel blow up banks type shit. No, it's stupid. Get away from it all. Build a tunnel, a bunker, an air filtration system. Getting a little heavy. I was going to also read a book, the first chapter from Addicted to Drama. I'll just summarize its feeling of wanting excitement, but it's more than that. But stirring up drama and chaos within yourself and others, trying to reach an insatiable peace, trying to get through a storm to a place you can't even define. It's an addiction, a coping mechanism, all too common in our culture because of the emptiness, the void that these people feel inside. So they have to stir up things. You know the type. Getting too old for all this shit. I'm having back pains already. What? Nah, it's just a temporary thing. I appreciate you guys hanging on. This community is a sangha of realists who remind each other basic things, which I often forget, and I rant on this channel foolishly that in late stage dying empires, there is widespread psychosis. People are tuned out. They don't want to know. They can just make subtle observations. Wow, it's really warm lately. You know, the food prices are getting higher. No one seems to be getting along. I'm getting ghosted from employers. The job market sucks. My electricity bill goes up. All these mortgage, my insurance, what's going on? Oh, you see the prices, and they just got to complain, create drama. But why? Why? Critical thinking, why? It's what colleges and universities teach. But not too many of us have that. In fact, 30% of us would rather sext with AI. Yeah, that's why ChatGPT is enabling adult content. So I'm going to get up to town, do a few errands. It's what I can do. Clean. Get ready for another week. Knowing bona fide mechanics out here, they're like gods out in rural areas because you ain't getting around unless you have a stable working vehicle. So I interact with them all the time, and I sculpted this life for myself, which is, as Nietzsche would say, no greater price than to own yourself or value, you know, and sculpting your life the way you want it. And even better with someone else, if you can find a valuable partner that's got their act together, you know, a well-integrated person with consistent values that reflects them, not creating drama because of the void and internal despair that they face from not addressing their own trauma, Lots of heavy subjects here. You become a man, you confront your shadow, your dark side, you realize your humility, your place in the universe, becoming a man or a woman. I invite you, come out here, stake a life for yourself. Join a community like mine. Ride out the collapse. You don't want to be in the desert, Tucson, Phoenix, Southern America, not Mexico. Stop dreaming. Build tunnels and bunkers, crossbows, air filtration systems, food stock, piles of freeze-dried potatoes. That's your future. Ain't no fucking retirement for us. No housing payment, no retirement savings. We're at the end of the line. I'll catch up with you guys next time. See ya.